Alright guys, in this video I'm gonna talk to you about how to be a good offlaner. So as some of you may not know, an offlaner is someone who is assigned in the top or bottom lane. It's basically the side lane. And when you are assigned in the top lane, most of the time you will face the enemy marksman and the support or tank. So in this gameplay, we're gonna show you the basics of being an offlaner who is assigned in the top lane. I'm gonna use the hero Cho to show the example. So before we go into the actual gameplay, we should take note of a couple of things. First is that an offlaner's job should be, first is to protect the side tower. And how do we do that? We do that by constantly pushing the wave safely. By safely meaning without the risk of dying to the enemy marksman and the support. When they are doing the jungle or they are on the middle lane, you can safely push just the minion wave in the early game, and after that, once you push the minion wave, you can roam to the middle lane or wherever the fight is happening, as long as you should first push your minion wave. Why is that? Because when you push the minion wave, you have free time to roam. So you should not just immediately help your teammates when they are in a team fight without pushing the minion wave, because once you lose the team fight, you lose the minion wave and you lose your life. So that's a double disadvantage. Well, if you push the minion wave first, you slightly hinder them from pushing the side tower when you die, and also you gain some gold even if you die. You gain some gold first before you go into the team fight. So those are the pros of pushing the wave first. And then the second one is, you should always look at the minimap to help out your teammates after you push the wave. So whenever you push the wave, look at the minimap and position yourself in such a way that you can easily go back to pushing your minion wave, or you can help them.
Not knowing oneself, that's the worst.
You can position yourself by hiding in bushes that are strategically positioned between the minion wave that you are wanting to push and the fight that is going to happen. For example, if you are in the top lane, you should go to the bushes in between the top lane and the middle lane, because that is the strategic position where you can easily go and push the top lane if no fight is gonna happen, and you can easily help out your teammates if a team fight is gonna happen in the middle or the top lane. So the next thing is the turtle and the lord. Whenever the turtle is up and your teammates are about to get it, or the enemy team is about to get it, you should almost always help out your teammates. And your job as a fighter is to make life hard for the enemy marksman by constantly going for the enemy marksman or mage and then killing them. You basically go to the enemy squishies and make their life harder. And as Joe or any other fighter, you can easily kill them once you get close to them. So yes, the top priority of an offlaner is to push the wave, and after that you can help your teammates. Because I see a lot of players that they want to help their teammates too much that they neglect their lane, and then they lose golden experience and they end up feeding because they haven't farmed, and they still go to team fights where they are at a gold and experience disadvantage. So let's go to the gameplay further elaborate what I've just said. Alright, so now we're in a Mystic rank game and we're using Joe against the Granger and Atlas and Kaja. So our game plan is to push the wave as much as possible and then help our teammates. And another thing, when you're against the enemy marksman and the support, you can signal and ask your teammates to help out in the lane so that you can kill the marksman and the support. And if they do not roam or help you, you can just give up the tower, but do not give it up so easily. You should try to defend it as much as possible. Just try to kill the minions and avoid dying at all costs. So now we're gonna go to top lane and we are gonna try to proxy the wave so that they will lose more minions if they prioritize farming. You can see we've spotted the Granger and the Kaja. So now I'm going back to push the wave, and after I push the wave, when I hit level 2, because I bought the jungle item first, I will try to kill the gold crab.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Request backup.
In the world of Kung Fu, speed defines winning.
Alright, so you can position in this bush so that you can help the team in middle lane and also get back to pushing the wave. So I've spotted Kaja, so I'm trying to back
Not
off.
a way to hurt somebody, but in order.
Now you should prevent the enemy minions from getting to the tower as much as possible, so you can tank them, especially if you are Cho, because you can use your shield to tank the minions normal attack.
Request backup.
In the world of
As
Kung
you can
Fu,
see, I am trying to get my teammates to roam here up top. Now the Kufra and Lilia is coming here. I'm baiting them to go deeper,
not a way to hurt
and then we
somebody,
can engage
but
on
in
them.
order.
First blood.
Alright, close one, but we managed to kill both of them.
Launch attack.
After I push this wave, I have two options: to kill the gold crab or to pressure the tower
Somewhere.
so that they will show up. I chose to pressure the tower because I am planning to recall if ever they show up. So I spotted Kaja, which means Granger should be near. So I decided to recall and reset.
The man who can beat me has
Now
not
I
been born
am
yet.
using my dashes so that I can get back to lane
Request backup.
as fast as I could. And I see the Granger and Kaja trying to engage on Kufra, and I tell Kufra to attack because Lilia and I are coming. Now I try to kick Kaja so that they can kill him.
You have slain an enemy.
Alright. So now what's the next decision? So your first mission is to push the wave, of course. That is your top priority. And since no one is in the middle lane, I am going to defend it. You should always defend all lanes at all times.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Initiate retreat.
I was lucky the Atlas used his ult when my shield was up. Now I see Kaja and I see Kufra engaging on Valir,
Knowing is not enough. We must
but I go
evolve.
back to pushing the wave. And I see that the Kaja is out of position. Alright, I kicked the wrong hero, but it didn't matter because Kaja was caught up in Lolita's ult. Now I go back to pushing the top lane. As you can see, even when I was facing
Boxing is not a way to hurt
the
somebody,
Granger and
but in
Kaja,
order.
my top tower is relatively healthy because I was constantly pushing the wave and not letting the minions get near to the tower. Now I position
Request
in
backup.
between the middle lane and the top lane so that I can help the team if they need me, and also I can go back to defending the top tower if that's necessary. Now I see Kaja is here,
Boxing is not a way to hurt
so
but in order.
I used flicker to so that I won't die. And in here we're gonna see if I can escape the Granger's wrath.
Initiate retreat.
He must be really pissed off because they couldn't kill me back then.
Your
Alright.
team destroyed the
Now we
turret.
can recall and replenish our health. And guess what? I'm gonna go
Not
to
knowing oneself.
where?
That's the worst.
The top lane to push my wave, of course. But I saw that there's a clash happening and both
Boxing
teams
is not
back
a way
off,
to hurt
so
somebody, but in
I go
order.
back to the top lane. As you can see, I did not fully commit to going to the mid lane, but I did not commit to going back to the top lane
Knowing is not
as well.
enough.
I just
We must
passed.
apply.
I just passed in a way that I can both go to the uh, top lane and the middle lane in a relatively short amount of time.
Backup.
Now
Request
I can see that the enemies are here.
Request backup. Initiate
Too bad
retreat.
I couldn't one-shot the Kaja,
Turtle resurrecting
so I just
soon.
back off. You can see that no one in the middle lane is clearing, so clear the wave. You should always clear the wave, push them into the opponent's tower. Only is not dead. Looking for openings here. The Ranger is really mad
Speed defines a
and
winner.
trying to kill me. Now I see that the wave is crashing to the tower.
Destroy the turret.
I have
Empty your cup.
done a wrong combo, so that's why I wasn't able to kill the Kaja, but it didn't matter.
Boxing is not a way to hurt
As
somebody,
a
but in
fighter,
order.
you should not go head first into the battle. You should always look for flanks
Knowing is not
so that
enough.
you can get access to the enemy squishies. Now get back to pushing before you fight. Before you fight, push the wave as much as possible.
Request backup.
Now my teammates are going into turtle.
An ally has slain the turtle.
Alright, we got it.
In order to fill it again.
Now I'm going into the back line. You should always look for these kinds of flanks.
Enemy has been slain. Ally has
Fortunately, I wasn't able to
an enemy has been
get to the
slain.
Valir, but he still died. So next is to,
Double kill.
you guessed it, push the middle lane because no one is clearing the wave.
In the world of kung fu, speed
Especially when you are ahead, the quickest way
Mega
to
kill.
end the game is to push all the waves and
not knowing oneself.
get the minions
That's the worst.
to the towers as much as possible.
Knowing is not enough. We must apply.
Team destroyed a turret.
Another team fight is happening, so when a team fight happens, you should always look for flanks like this. Unfortunately, the enemy Valir was able to use the second skill on me and I died.
Knowing oneself. That's the worst.
An enemy has been slain.
Here is another team fight happening, and
Lord
guess what? When there are team fights, you should look for flanks.
Boxing is not a way to hurt
Here you can see that the Gridder is out of position. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to him. So I back off and clear the minion wave instead, because that is the more productive thing to do rather than chase the enemy team with this low HP that I have. Next is to, guess what? Clear the wave again in the top lane.
Speed defines the winner. cup in order to fill it again. Knowing is not enough. We must apply.
Request backup.
Empty your cup in order to fill it again.
An enemy has been slain.
A tip you can do with Joe is you can prolong the time in between the second and first phase of the ultimate so that the enemy will be stuck or suppressed for a longer period of time compared to if you just double tap it. Next is to clear the waves again. You just clear the waves and crash them into the tower and take the towers where there are no enemies to defend it. Here, the Atlas is trying to defend and my teammates got the Lord. Now clear the middle wave and the minion wave is cleared. So as you can see, I am not
Fill it again.
moving with my teammates here because the more important thing in this game now is to get the towers because
In the world
I am confident that my teammates can win the team fights even if they are 4v5. Now clear the backline and back away. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna clear the wave and push the towers.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Now that all enemies are dead, we can end the game and basically that's how you play the offlaner position. Just clear the wave and help your teammates after you clear the wave. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something and as always, peace out.